Did you
And we,
start it?
yes, and we really ruined our intro. God damn it. We continue the scene where the original intro left off, with Katrina, Vlad, Francis, and Monique. With Francis and Monique going to a side room to discuss matters of business.
Yay.
And he'll sit down with his glass of wine, give it a nice sip. Tastes good. He does that
Well,
Michelin star wine. You can't get enough of it.
well, Monique will want to have a taste and just sneak in a kiss there. Because he has to be at peace always.
Mm-hmm. Where she tries to steal his wine and a kiss at the same time.
Yep.
How does that even work?
You have wine in your mouth.
Okay.
God,
No,
stop
he doesn't
being a
do that.
weirdo, okay? Stop being a weirdo.
All right, no. Yeah, Francis will just receive and trade back the kiss.
So, um,
Careful, I could choke.
you're already dead. But don't worry, I know the Heimlich maneuver in any case.
I just don't want to get red wine over that lovely dress.
That's true, that's true. We should be more careful, I suppose. Anyway, there are some things I needed to talk to you about. Um, Mostly regarding the auction.
Mm-hmm.
I did hear something.
Do we go on?
And and I am very worried now.
What in particular is worrying you?
Mm, that you pulled a gun in the neutral ground.
Oh yeah, the red list says there, so I pulled a gun on it, and then the gun exploded.
Yeah, it was a neutral ground, Francis. You had
Fuck him,
every
he's a
right to
red
be there,
lister.
technically. Yeah, I know that, but there were rules. I mean, I know that your position,
I mean,
grants
do
some
we apply the
leniency.
rules to red listers? No, they're red listers because they don't fucking listen to the rules, Monique.
I know that, but this wasn't our venue. You don't know what else is there. And actually, I think you know because I heard something more, and that worries me too.
What else did you hear?
That you'll have to make a deal with some Nazi werewolf or something.
What?
I
What?
don't
Who the
know.
fuck is telling you this shit?
There are rumors around.
Rumors?
Anyway,
No, seriously, who's saying this?
I don't know if that was exactly accurate.
There
Well,
were like
Sam told
there
me.
were there were only a limited amount of kindred there.
Yeah,
I'd like to know
there
who's
were other
spreading this.
things. There were other things there, that's what I know.
Yes, but who among us is spreading these rumors?
Well, it's not exactly a rumor, it was in confidence.
Okay, who in confidence?
Sam did. Well, he didn't exactly understand what happened. He just said that there was a werewolf there that was like a Nazi werewolf or something. I don't understand, honestly. And that you might need to deal with him or something. I don't know.
Basically, some fucking idiot tried to steal lupine blood, and the lupine in question believes it was me who set it up, which is actually untrue.
That's absurd, of course.
But they don't know that because they don't know, well, anything about our society other than that we exist. Uh, so I've basically had
Well,
to talk, talk him down. Um,
okay.
the consequences for this moron, who's basically put me in danger, my affiliations, which means you, and the rest of the court because they're also my affiliations, uh,
But
is
we're
going.
good now, right?
Well, that's the thing. This this clown, this overglorified pixie, has decided. Well, has been given a number of days to rectify their mistake. I personally think it will lead to the issue escalating and becoming actively worse.
All right.
Um,
Is that
but
glorified
he
pixie
seems to
dangerous?
he seems to think he can control them or something, which is absurdity.
I sure hope so.
It strikes me as ridiculous. I suppose if you're willing to take the risk, you could, but he seems to think he can control all six of them. It's ridiculous. All six. He claims six. I don't know if there actually are six, but
S- Six what?
six lupine.
Six lupines? Oh
Mm,
God.
mm. I don't.
Honestly, though, if there was a way to control them, wouldn't you want to know about it?
Yes, but it doesn't change the fact that it's an insane risk that isn't worth taking. I have no reason to interact with these people.
I agree with that.
I
I don't
say just
understand
leave.
why did they try to blame you? I don't understand that.
Mm, we met once. It was entirely benign when we met, and we didn't bring up our own natures. We just understood with each other what we were. I knew, of course, from
Hmm.
my aura perception, his aura gave off very well. If you know what a lupine aura looks like, then you know what to look for in somebody's aura, and it's not particularly subtle. And
Hmm.
he did something a little bit strange. He took in a very deep breath and then seemed satisfied with something. I believe he was using his own abilities to ascertain what I was.
Hmm.
But we didn't speak on it because it wasn't an issue. We just went about our lives. There was
I
no
don't
reason for
understand
us
it though.
to.
The fact that you had met shouldn't be like you didn't give
Well,
any reason of suspicion, I assume. I mean,
I think he knew that I knew, and I, of course, knew that he knew. We just didn't speak on it at all. Um, of course, that means when a kindred comes around to their place trying to steal their blood, that's odd. I met this individual that was a kindred just a few nights ago. It was probably that asshole, was what he was thinking. Basically, he thinks I divulged what he was to somebody else who wanted to steal his blood, or I set him up, basically, which wasn't the
that's a
case.
stretch. That's a stretch. He has no evidence of such a thing.
That's a stretch. One, he doesn't necessarily need to care about such evidence. I mean, to an extent, neither would I. But also keep in mind, you don't run into kindred every day. It's he. I'm probably one of the only kindred he knows. If I might be the only one. Which, of course, when another kindred shows up on his doorstep looking for his blood,
So,
who's going to be his first suspect?
do you know who was the one who's trying to steal his blood?
Oh yes, they've been given a set amount of time, and they were remarkably uncooperative. In fact, I would say they were in direct disrespect of my office by refusing to answer several questions because he wanted to cover for his
So,
friend like a child.
is he part of the Camarilla then?
He's not even of the Camarilla clans. He's not even of a clan.
Oh, so it's a caitiff?
He's some sort of aberrant bloodline.
Huh.
I actually met one of his kind of the Sabbat before. Apparently, they're some sort of La Sombra offshoot, which doesn't help matters.
No, I'm surprised you have let him walk so far.
What happened is, well, let's just say the rest of the court weighed in,
Hmm. I.
and he was left, well, he never had a choice, but then it became very apparent to him that he honestly, assuredly did not, and he was forced to divulge his source, because obviously, I want to know, because I'm the person being blamed, and he's allowing me to take the blame to cover for his friend.
I assume we're going to take steps to.
Oh, if he doesn't resolve this within the next week, he's a dead man.
Good.
That has already been set in stone. It wouldn't be me who kills him. I wouldn't need to, and I've already procured. His winnings. He didn't get the blood off the individual he was actually looking for. He had to tackle one of his subordinates instead. Apparently, he his the individual he was looking for managed to shrug off any mental attack that he launched
Hmm.
against him, although his packmate was more susceptible. But regardless, I basically have this guy by the balls, and I have his source by the balls. I could divulge both to the Lupines if I wanted. I'm not going to give away the source. Not right now. I need to figure out what we're going to do about the individual.
Hmm.
Because in theory, they're blameless. Because they had, they didn't, obviously, they don't want to put themselves in danger, and they might not have been aware that I was taking the blame for it, and they can't control uh, this person's actions.
That might be true, but if he was not dominated, I mean, it's still an offense, and in neutral ground, no less. So it might not be up to you in the end.
I never
But
said they were dominated.
well, then he should have as much blame as anyone else would in this situation, I suppose.
I do find it particularly unwise to be telling aberrant bloodlines where lupines live and that they exist within the city. I have no idea why one would go out of their way to trust these figures. I know at least one of them considers themselves autarkists and went up to me and said I should take it up with the seneschal because they believe them any lupine blood that is stolen from them would be in service of the Camarilla.
That doesn't make sense.
From
That's
someone
not
who
how
is
we
not even a
operate.
member. Yeah, exactly from someone who is not even a member of the Camarilla, who does not
Hmm.
know the full extent of what has occurred, and has literally just witnessed a member of the Camarilla court be endangered through his friend's actions. So
Well, at least from what I understand, you have the advantage at the moment, right?
yes, the problem is that obviously the lupines are a giant wild card and may just decide to come after me before the appointed time. And I need to make sure I already have at least part of what I need to secure my safety, and I don't want to appear weak to their threats. But I'm not really interested in fighting yet another war. I'm already fighting free.
Yeah, that's a bit much. But you do know the identities of the people that were after them, so you could just.
Well, I know the original source. Again, not from the help of the individual who fucked all of this up to begin with, and and of course I know about the individual who caused all of this because they sent me a letter of apology. Oh, how quaint of them. I
Not
suppose
very
that just makes it
smart.
all better. Well, the
That
thing
isn't
is
very
that
smart, though. It incriminates them, and it's I suppose it's in written form.
oh no, the only reason I didn't come after them with a shotgun full of dragon's breath was because they sent me the letter. That is the only reason they're still alive.
Hmm.
If they had
They're
kept this
not very
secret,
smart.
because here's the thing, I would have met this lupine at the auction anyway, and then I would have learned what would have happened, and then I would have gone after the perpetrator, and then they would be dead one way or the other because they just tried to get a member of Camarilla Court killed. Um, that would not have flown. The only reason any mercy has been shown is because this individual did not go deliberately out of their way to put the lupines to set the lupines upon me. The lupines came to that conclusion themselves. Now they refused to give up their actual source, which meant that they allowed me to take the heat when they know they shouldn't have, when I shouldn't have. Um, but
But you
that,
did learn it.
mm, and that's the thing. I would have discovered this anyway. It's not. This is all of this is ridiculous. I don't even know why one would want lupine blood. It is beyond strange to me. What
Hmm.
purpose is there
Well, I
to
suppose there are things that are beneath our understanding. We don't know what other creatures or beings or whatever, what powers they have necessarily. I mean, I don't know much about them. Do you?
no, but I don't see what that justifies going after lupine blood. What could it even teach you? This
I
seems like something for the Tremere, sanctioned
uh,
occultists and thaumaturges to traverse in, not these fey-blooded hedge wizards.
how do you know that they don't have any such abilities?
Well, I know one of them can interact with. Let's just say they have gifts that the Giovanni may be quite interested in, and well,
Mm.
that may actually be quite useful leverage if they ever want to try something. Because I'll just say, well, just tell the Giovanni that you've stolen their gifts, and just let them kill you. Because then they don't want competition, and frankly, you're not under our protection. You're Autarchus.
Monique
So,
has a really sly smile upon hearing that.
hmm, yes, they're not. At least one of them is not a member of the Camarilla. They've gone out of the way to call themselves Autarchus to me or independent. Uh, the other one, I'm not sure. He seems like he wants to get cozy with us, and well, he then made the mistake of fucking me over. So that plan is thoroughly dead in the water.
Yeah, independence. Like, that
Uh,
would work.
well,
Anyway.
there are
Hmm.
independent clans, but these are independent coteries, and well,
Well,
you
a
see what?
clan is one thing, but individuals, it's just, it won't work.
Of
I
course,
doubt they'd survive.
they possess no real leverage. They're clearly not particularly intelligent, and they
No
seem
support.
exactly. There is no organization. There is no how to say set way of doing things. There is no uh,
Well, they're winging it pretty much.
pretty much. There, there is no organization or professionalism to them because they are not a clan. They have not been an independent entity for hundreds of years. They have not structured themselves with hundreds, if not thousands, of others to attain this consensus of how to do things, of how to structure themselves, of how to go about the night without being discovered by mortals or fucking things up in front of lupines or the Camarilla.
Clearly. And they
And now
demonstrated that.
they've Well, one of them did. One of the weirdlings there decided try to cover for his friend. I don't think he knew the full extent of what his friend did, but he was the one who
Mm.
said it was in the service, and Francis echoes the service of the Camarilla, which is a shame because this guy actually, this individual, aided me in infiltrating the Louisiana Chancery of Red List, and apparently that must have been a fluke because. I mean, that was a rather empty attempt to spin a rather atrocious and unbelievably foolish action. Then again, I suppose he doesn't have much choice if they're friends or coterie mates and they only have each
Friends
other.
or
They
not,
well, politically,
but
they
in
need to back each other up. If they're all they have, they need as much leverage as they can get. And if their friends are the only leverage they have, then they're going to back that until they meet fiery, ashy doom. Because that
yes, but
is
blaming the Camarilla over their
he. Oh no, he threw
actions.
he dragged
This
Seneschal
is
Hennessy
this is
into it. He said take it
this
up
is
with the
very
Seneschal.
foolish. Oh,
Oh no, the Seneschal was more bemused than anything else. I quote him. Why am I being dragged into this train wreck of ages? I do love the quote. It is wonderfully fitting and was immaculately put. It really
hmm.
is just a train wreck of ages. This none of this makes sense and appears to have fucked everybody over. It is literally lose lose. I've already procured the lupine blood, so the person doing this doesn't even have what they want because I have it now. It is mine.
You do?
Yes, it's insurance. If this idiot dies, I want to make sure I have something that has leverage over the lupines, i.e., don't kill me because you'll never see your blood again, and it will be in the hands of those who can use it against you. But hey, you let me live and we go our separate ways, and you might just find it conveniently placed on your doorstep.
Let's hope they're reasonable, though.
They seem to be. When we initially met, we just went about our business, even ended up kind of having a mutually beneficial I wouldn't call it arrangement. Rather, we just kind of ended up helping each other's own goals in a sense. We kind of bounced off of each other, I suppose you could say. It was nothing official,
Hmm.
or it was rather, in fact, the Lupine took the initiative. It was interesting and well played, but
I guess like a matter of convenience, right?
yes, and well, it was a matter of convenience. I think is a good way of stating it, and the I don't think they turn on me because they know that would just be rather unwise. It's not worth it.
They are
It's
aware that you are the sheriff, right?
no, I have not told them. I may have been referenced as sheriff at the auction, but I haven't told them about anything about my society. Other than that, I'd have the power to make many of those decisions when they offered me several deals, but not all of them.
So
Just most of them.
am I to assume that they have no idea of how our society is structured?
Unless they knew of us prior. This lupine does appear to have met leeches before, but he refers to us
Mm,
as leeches.
mm,
Uh, I
a
believe that
rather uh, distasteful term.
well, it might be similar to how we just called them what furries. We just called them lupines and moon beasts and well all
Well,
sorts of
lupines isn't inaccurate.
no, but I'm sure they think the same of us. But in any
Well,
case, the situation's being resolved, and I have the
I'm
leverage
glad
I
to
need
hear.
secure secure the safety of myself and any of my affiliations. I don't think they would come after us. If they do, well, that's a fight I don't think they're going to want to take because then we're going to come after them, and it's just not worth the blood and pain. Once they have what they want and we have what we want, we can just go back to how we used to be and return to our respective corners. Honestly, I
Hmm.
believe that's all any of us want. It's kind of frustrating that someone on our own, not even on our own end, just from our particular
Kind, I
species,
suppose.
yeah, our
Yeah.
kind, mucked up that particular status quo for no reason other than, oh no, 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 he was doing it. Apparently, it was because he was on the political left and these lupines were on the political right or something. As if that somehow matters to the Camarilla.
Oh, is that why
I believe
why
that was
Sam said
some.
that the lupine was a
I
Nazi?
believe that was some bullshit excuse. It honestly
Hmm.
was the most bizarre nonsense. As if I give a fuck what part of the political spectrum you lean upon. That doesn't justify
I mean,
you
it's not. It
potentially
doesn't have anything
starting
to
a
do with
war.
us.
Yeah, it has like this. These are the political ideas of mortals. Yes, they have some relevance to our kind, but certainly less so than to mortals. And not only that, but it doesn't justify starting a conflict between two supernaturals whose mortal politics aren't particularly relevant to how each society runs or operates. It
And
is beyond
especially with a
absurd.
species that can kill us at will, pretty much. At least some of us.
I wouldn't be so sure.
I wouldn't want to try. I
They're
honestly
very
wouldn't want you to try either.
they are very dangerous, and I certainly would not feel comfortable taking one on. But then again, I can move very quickly. I don't have to, and they'd have to get very close to me, and I can just keep running and gunning, as it were. But yes, I'd rather not pick a fight with them. Honestly, the best way to deal with lupines is how we deal with the Sabbat. Just burn down their shit during the day. There you go.
Oh, I suppose that would work. Anyway, I wanted to talk to you about the auction. I'm planning to attend. There is a piece I really, really want.
Too bad I'm having it.
What are you talking about?
What do you want?
I want that painting.
Oh no, I'm having the painting.
Wait, are you interested in that too?
Yes, I was at the auction. I inspected the item. There is so much
I
wrapped up in that
can
painting. I want it.
I cannot express to you how important it is to me to acquire it.
So important that you are not there for the inspection. Smirk.
I tried. I was just preoccupied with other things that couldn't be left alone, and you know about it.
Well, I've got one of those and three wars, and I still found the time.
This is not your first rodeo, Francis. I haven't done this before.
Well, then that sounds very much like a you problem.
Oh, if that's how you see it, I'm going to make it an us problem.
What does that mean?
I'm willing to give anything for this piece,
Mm-hmm.
Francis. I mean,
I'm willing to give a
anything.
lot as well.
A lot is not anything.
I might not need to, given the assets I possess.
Well, the assets that you possess aren't relevant. The beads aren't monetary in nature.
I'm not referring to those particular assets, but sure.
Look, I'm the painter here. I have a connection to pieces like that I cannot really express to you. It just it draws me in. I, I need it.
I literally connected to it.
Are we really going to have to fight over this?
Monique, I really want that painting. I really want that painting. That is Van Gogh's
I
last
need
painting, and
it.
he was not a well
I
appreciated.
need it. I need it. I don't want it. I need it.
Have you ever considered I might be downplaying my desire for this painting?
Well, what would you do with it anyway? I mean, you have your own pieces. Like this is something that I don't even know how to express to you how deeply connected I am to this artist.
What I'd do is when if it came into my possession, what I'd do is I'd likely donate it to a local cultural heritage NGO.
A human one?
Yes,
Really now?
really now. It is something that deserves to be seen. This is a painting that nobody even knows exists. From perhaps the tragic, tortured, misunderstood genius that defines that particular idea, that concept.
And
He was the most underappreciated artist of a generation, of a century.
I know, and you are aware that they're not just going to gobble it, that it's an original. Work needs to be done.
But what do you mean work?
Work that I can do.
Are you planning to paint over it or something?
Oh no, I'm planning to inspect it very carefully.
Oh, I already done that. I can tell you everything. Smug.
Can you tell me, can you explain to the world how or why this painting is an original?
Oh
Do you
yes, there
have
is
the
actually
knowledge
there's
required?
yes there is a how to say
What, a
there,
certificate?
there is a there is it does come with a legal bill of sale. It is
Yes, and documents can be falsified, but I can look at it and I can tell you precisely what makes this painting legit. I know how to do that. I studied that.
but the mortals. I already know it's legitimate, and the mortals have people who can verify that for themselves. They can authenticate it.
And you'd leave it to them. You'd actually pay that price and leave it to them to do all that.
What, to authenticate something I already know to be authentic? Yes. I already know that it's authentic, so I don't need that verified to me. I just want the world to see this painting that this tragic individual never got to release to the world, that nobody knows exists, that people should appreciate, that should see, that should understand, that should
And I don't
understand just
disagree
how
with that.
underappreciated, just how misunderstood, just how cast aside he was.
I don't disagree with that, Francis. I just disagree with the way you're doing it.
What would you do with it?
What would I do with it? Well, first of all, I'm not opposed to donate it or display it for the world to see, as long as it's in an enterprise that we as a clan own, or as individuals, if you will. Why don't we come up with something that will keep both of us happy?
By all means, the floor is yours, Monique.
Well, how about that you allow me to purchase the painting? You have the resources to acquire a gallery. I can donate it to that gallery, provided, of course, that I am, in a way, a salad partner in it.
Well, that's double dipping. You want
And
the painting and you want a
I
share
want
in the very thing that
access
I'm
to it.
providing you so I can get what I want. That hardly seems fair.
I want access to it. Thing is, there are things that we can benefit from. Every one of us can benefit from that. The clan will benefit, you will benefit, I will benefit, everyone's happy.
No,
Didn't
I
you
mean,
ask me a
someone
few
in a weak
nights
negotiating
ago?
position than myself, you're making it a very big stretch. I mean, you're double dipping. That doesn't seem particularly. Uh,
Didn't you ask me a few nights ago if I wanted you to get me something?
yes, but I want this one.
We both want this one and we can both have what we want.
Well, how about this? Because we're trying to build something in the Primogen's domain now. Anyway, oh, did I mention she has domain now?
Yes, I have heard.
Excellent. Uh, we want to build and construct something there anyway. Something a meetup point for local kindred. What if we were to simply display it there?
I
And
will
we
tell you why. Because there, not the whole world would see it, and it would be as a private collector's item, not having the same kind of security, I suppose, that a gallery provides.
here's the thing though. The
In
this this
such a
this
venue,
this that venue would have a public space for mortals. You know that, right? It's not. It wouldn't. Otherwise, it
yes,
wouldn't make any money.
yes, of course, but would that be an appropriate place for such an important piece of art?
I mean, if anyone can ensure that it gets the exposure it deserves, it would be our clan.
That will happen anyway.
Speaking of
You
which, I do
mind
need to. I do need to speak to another member of our clan.
to whom?
Oh, he's a bit of a hermit. That's why he hasn't shown up to any clan meetings.
Oh, it's the one we haven't met. The elusive one
Yeah,
that
I might.
Messiah has mentioned,
I
right?
might. I might discuss things with him. He might be able to help us in this. But
In any case, I think that I would disagree with displaying a painting of such importance at a venue where we are supposed to go and relax. I wouldn't be relaxed knowing that
well, that
something that important is there.
that venue could be a gallery. We haven't
That's
decided.
completely that's completely different from what we have so far discussed, however. We were talking about having a sort of a club for everyone.
It can have a fine arts exhibition area.
Would you be able to ensure the safety of that place, seeing as it's not in your domain?
I'd be down to the Primogen, but I'm investing a great deal of resources into it.
That might be true, but I still believe that an actual gallery is a more appropriate place. Not only that, but don't you think that the more venues we have going, the more power our clan gets?
Maybe, but we're also going to end up competing with each other if we're not careful. Katrina wants to make her own place.
Well, we can discuss that. I know I heard that, but well, perhaps hers will be more human focused, maybe? I don't know what her plans are.
I
This
don't
is
really
tricky
know
to
what that
figure
means.
out.
Human focus, kindred focus. They're clubs. Humans go there. We feed on the humans there. That's why kindred go to clubs. It's not human or non-human focused, but like, it's both. It's always been both.
Well,
There's
yes,
always been priority put on both sides because we need both.
but there's a difference of goals. The goal that we set for our venue when we talked with the Primogen is a neutral ground for all kindred. That was what we discussed, that's what we decided.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know what Katrina wants to do, but it can deviate from that.
It can, but
Her goal might be to just monetary gain, perhaps. We
yes, but
don't know.
as a business, it would still be competing with us unless we find a way to differentiate ourselves from hers substantially. And that's why I'm going to have a talk with her about it later, so we can find a way to diversify our respective venues.
Francis, I'm sure that between our clan we have pretty good relations with each other, and we can pretty much agree on making things that won't conflict with each other. I'm
Okay,
confident we can do that
then we'll buy the painting together and we'll put it up in this venue then.
and put it when?
Put it up in this venue we're making in the Primogen's domain then. I think that's a fair compromise. I'm not exactly asking for anything from you. I'm giving you joint ownership of the item.
Hmm. We just need to guarantee that we will be safe there.
And here's the thing. If you want it to be seen by many, there's always the risk that it may be stolen. Hell, even if we hoard it, there is the risk that it may be stolen.
There is another possibility, but it might offend you.
Go on.
What we display could be a copy, and the original can be safely stored in a vault. Not from the beginning, however. I do want people to see it. I just don't want it to be stolen. So if
But it
this is
wouldn't.
something that you would want to do sometime in the future, I could accommodate that.
They wouldn't be seeing it though.
That's true. Many people would have the chance, however. I don't know, don't you fear it being stolen? I would probably lose it.
All things are at risk of being stolen. Everything from that painting to our very soul.
Okay, so I do need to have a stipulation there, however. I do agree with joint ownership, but between the two of us, secretly, I want to appear as the one purchasing it.
But then you would be the owner. I would not have joint ownership because those who would sell it to would believe you to be the full owner, thus nullifying the point of joint ownership.
We can have that between us in secret. The whole world doesn't need to know. It's not our only secret, after all.
Yes, but that one actually has legal weight. If at that auction
We
all
can
deals are final.
have, indeed.
So if you
And
are seen by the auctioneer to have purchased the item, I would have no stake in it.
I'll pay the price for it. We can have our own contract in writing.
But no, what I'm saying is that at the auction, those deals
Mm-hmm.
are not just legally binding. That's not how those deals are made. Do you understand where I'm going with this? They are mystically binding.
I am aware and I'm willing to pay the price.
Besides, I was going to literally work with you. I was going to buy some currency so I could bid with you and support your bids, thus giving us joint ownership.
Would that give me the same benefit?
What do you mean, same benefit? I mean, it would make your life in acquiring the item a lot easier.
I mean, in terms of status.
What do you mean in terms of status?
Well, it is an important piece. The move we're planning to make is also an important one. Will it? Will you backing me make me appear weak, or will it reinforce my claim to whatever
It's a,
social benefits comes with owning it?
it's a clanmate backing a clanmate. We're securing a piece of art, a valued art for the clan. I mean, I'm not sure. I don't really understand how you mean would it make you look weak. I suppose if it's an ancilla backing a neonate, potentially,
But that's what it is.
but then this is going to be a fairly harsh point, but I feel it needs to be made given the context of the argument. I'm not sure how you would look strong to begin with.
Well, I would be owning a piece of art that's quite important and
And you'd still own it.
donating it to the clan does help me.
I don't see your point. But just the clan is cooperating to recover a piece of valued art.
Yes, however, I am the weakest link of this clan at the moment
I mean,
in
that's not
terms of,
true. We have two fledglings in town.
yes, one of which is already a harpy.
Still a fledgling.
Still a harpy, and with whatever status comes with it. Also ready to start her own club. I have no claim, I have no status, I only have a sire's name.
Well, what if I help you with that? Because I've already been helping Katrina gain power and influence in the city.
But that would probably help me. I mean,
It
don't
could
get me
help
wrong,
you? What? It's almost as if that's the point.
that's not the
Wow!
point.
What?
That's not
Okay,
the point.
what is the
But,
point?
oh, God, the point is that we secure this piece of art for our clan.
Yes.
However, if I can get two birds with one stone, why not do it? It's
Because
something I
it
desperately need,
because
and I'm
it's
not
not
turning
something that
down your help.
belongs. Because if you're acquiring it for the purposes of the clan, then it does not solely belong to you. Okay, you cannot just use it for your own benefit whenever you want.
No, I will not.
Well, that's
The
what you
only
seem to be claiming you want to do. You want to leverage it for power?
Not exactly.
Okay, then explain it to me because I appear to be misunderstanding.
Oh, God.
So we've already agreed we are seen as acquiring this painting for the clan. Then what?
That's it. I just want to be the one acquiring it.
Why?
I explained you why.
I don't
Would
see.
you, would you, if you were the person trying to get it, would you accept my help if you didn't need it?
I I mean, no, I'm offering this compromise because I don't want us to run each other up when there's an item the red lister wants.
Is it an item the red lister wants?
Oh, not the painting. No, it's that vial of abyssal hell.
Well, I don't care about any other item. The other items don't exist for me. This is the only thing I see.
Well, guess what, Sunshine? Other items do exist. And
Yes.
some of them are very, very important to the world not ending, as it so happens.
Why don't you bid on them then?
Oh, I will be. I'm already working with the Trime Regent on that one.
Good. The
So,
thing is, what I'm asking you is, if there is no need for you to help me with this bid, just allow me to do it. The result will be the same, what
no,
we
because
want
then
it to
I'd have
be.
no stake. Then I wouldn't have that there is a difference, is that I can't, that there is no joint ownership over the painting. I don't know why you're so driven to be seen as doing this all by yourself. Because you're
I would
assuming with
have
it.
expected you to be more understanding of that.
I, I don't. I don't know what the issue is. I don't know. I don't see what it gains you. I'm literally offering you what is effectively extra currency against other bidders.
I didn't turn that down. I told you that if I'm able to win the bid without your assistance, would you allow that?
Well, I wanted to, so.
See, you're being just selfish. I told you
No, I'm
after I
trying to
acquired.
work out a compromise. That's why I'm making this
No,
offer,
you're
so we
not.
don't run each other up. And
Listen to
that we
me.
can secure it
Because
together.
after I acquire it, we can have a private contract. Can't we not? Do you want to roll on this?
You know what? I want a prenup. I want that boon settled before the auction even begins.
I I'm not against that.
if
I'm
if if
serious about this.
if we can settle that boon if we can settle that boon, we can have that boon put in the Harpy's ledgers before the auction, then because I do want joint ownership over that item. It means a lot to me.
And you mean a lot to me, so why would I deny you that?
But because I like you've given me very weird vibes with what you want to do with this painting.
I don't understand you, honestly, and what you find a weird vibe on it.
Well, you've made some weird claims, like keeping the real one locked away and displaying a copy instead, and other
I asked you
things.
if I asked you if you wanted that it is an option.
I just okay. Let us rewind.
Look, I'm not doing anything you're not agreeing to.
I just let's just we both we both back each other on the painting. We have a boon sorted out prior to the auction that if either one of us gets it, with or without each other's assistance, the other one has joint ownership over the painting. So we both have to agree on what we wish to do with it before anything can happen to it.
Didn't we agree on that already?
Oh, well, no, that's wonderful then.
What we didn't agree on is the auction itself.
Oh, yeah, you want to be seen as the one purchasing it for some reason. Why?
Why?
Yeah, it's really strange to me. I don't know why.
Because it might be the most memorable and important thing that I've would ever have done within uh my existence in the city.
On a personal or political level?
Both.
Well, I mean, one of those is deeply depressing and disappointing.
Well, thank you for the sentiment.
I'm just saying,
She'll
Monique, you've
she'll
had
pretty much
political
get no.
opportunities.
She's getting up and walking with her back turned
Hey,
on you at this
hey,
point. So
hey,
like,
hey,
yeah.
hey, hey. He grabs her hand. Hey.
What opportunities are you referring to exactly?
I mean, you think I became sheriff without wheeling and dealing? Like you
No,
just
if I remember correctly, you became sheriff because you killed some Sabbat.
actually no, I didn't. I traded in some boons. Sheriff smirks.
Well, the truth is, I won't be able to move any further up if I'm being undermined.
I'm not undermining you.
Are you
I just,
not?
but I don't see how this politically is significant. Like, it would be politically significant to our clan, as in, like, the clan would care about the fact that you got it, but then because of our
It's
boon,
a
the clan
first
would know that
step.
both of us got it anyway. Like I
So
understand the personal.
what you're saying is no win for me here.
No what?
There is no win for me here. Is that what you're saying?
No, there is win for you. I just don't see how you personally being seen as purchasing it nets you a win. That I don't see that politically as a win. I don't think it's a loss, but I don't think it's a win. That's my point. I think it's superfluous. I don't think it makes a meaningful difference. The
You
clan, of
have to
course,
start from
will.
somewhere.
But that's what I'm saying. It doesn't start you anywhere. It's superfluous. It doesn't mean anything.
It means to
It's
the clan.
oh, 1 minute. Well, but the but because of our but because of the boon we agreed on, the clan would know we both purchased it. So that it wouldn't like that again. You being see, you can't like the clan would know that it wouldn't just be have been you that would have purchased it, right? So you being seen to the
Oh,
larger world as
great.
having purchased it
Oh,
would.
great. So I just remain the landless child. Great for me.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It would still be a big win for you. I mean, I'm happy to heap praise on you as someone with status that actually makes this easier for you. Like that makes the win bigger because someone with status is effectively saying this person should get status, which makes acquiring status far easier.
Yeah, but it's not coming from me.
I mean, part of it is coming from you. It's a joint. It's a cooperative. That's where the boon comes into play. The boon makes it so that we both contributed. It's not just me using you as a proxy. That's not what the boon entails, or not what it's meant to, at least. It's literally a boon that enforces cooperation between us on this issue, so that we are going out of our way to help each other and, by extension, the clan.
I suppose I don't have to like it.
I I'm just really struggling to understand how you being because that's the problem, right? It seems to be a contradiction because you want to make this deal with me that would be if it was kept secret would be unenforceable
How so?
because it would be a secret. No one would know. It'd be effectively, if if we had an agreement and no one outside of us two knew about it, then how are we supposed to enforce that agreement upon each other?
With a legal contract, perhaps.
But this item exists in legal limbo. It's not known.
It will be.
But it's being traded on what is effectively a supernatural black market. I mean, you have to give me that one. That's literally what this is.
That's true. However, it will be presented to the world. The moment this happens, it will exist as both an item and a legal entity.
Yes. So you want to be seen as the one gifting it to the world? Is that what you're saying?
No. I
Okay.
want to be seen as the one gifting it to our clan. Our clan. I want our clan to be seen as gifting it to the world.
Okay. In which case you'll need to purchase that item uncontested from myself, and I would not be able to have a stake in that item's ownership, because then I would also have been known to have contributed, and
I
I
You
would
don't need
ask,
to contribute. I would
but I would ask for something in
agree.
return because of how much that matters to me. Because what you are asking for, if you want to be seen as the one who gave it to your clan, you you would need to purchase it yourself, or my involvement would need to be entirely unknown and as such unrecognized.
Actually, not necessarily. What I'm saying is, if I am able to purchase it without your assistance, that you allow it to happen.
Okay, how does this
Of
get me
course,
what
if
I
that
want?
happens, can't I give you joint ownership afterwards?
Yes, but that needs to be enforced. I'd be
Well,
happy to make that boon,
to,
by the way.
to be fair, neither of us will own it anymore after it's been donated to the clan. It will be
Actually,
an
this would
item.
be fairly simple because I could just say you owe me a major boon for me not contesting in the purchase of the item. Then I simply call it in to give me joint ownership over the item. That works. That
That would
works.
work. However, would we really have ownership over the item after donating to the clan? It
What do you
will
mean by
belong to the
donating it to the
clan.
clan?
Wasn't that the goal?
Well, I mean, I don't just want to send it off to some like Germany or France or something.
No, you wanted to display it in our club.
In our club, in a gallery. I'm sure there's a toreador here that owns a gallery.
If there is one, I haven't met them.
I'll go talk with this Frederick chap.
In any case, regardless of who purchases it in the end, it will belong to the clan.
You know,
So, will
uh,
either of us have any stake in it?
yes, because we're all from Clan Toreador. Regardless, what about your sire? I'm sure he's taken an interest.
I hope I can handle him.
Maybe you will need my help after all.
Hmm. Come on, would he really contest me on that?
Think he wouldn't. You've been willing to contest me.
To be fair, I did mention it first to you.
I was at the auction inspecting the
That
painting.
that doesn't mean I didn't know that you were there for that specific piece. You said you were there for other items as well. I only expressed interest only for one thing.
I think I knew about the painting before you did because I was there. Only announced like a night later.
You didn't announce it to me. I
No,
just
no,
learned it
the
at
auctioneer
night.
announced the painting like a night after the item inspection
Indeed.
took place.
And I expressed my interest to you before you expressed your interest to me.
Okay, I am losing track of this conversation. Where are we going with this?
Well, you brought up my sire. I think you're just trying to
Look,
make me lose confidence
if you're
in
willing to
her.
contest over this item with me, do you think your sire isn't? Come on now. That's not an unreasonable assumption.
Was he at the auction?
I don't know. I didn't run into him, so maybe not.
So perhaps he's not interested. Perhaps he won't attend.
And yet you weren't present, and you are. Funny how that works.
But it is my job.
Okay.
Paintings and love of paintings is my thing. It's what I do.
You know you're not the only Toreador that likes paintings, right?
Yes, I am well
You don't
aware.
have
I
a
remember.
claim over that particular concept.
No, I do not. But I do have an edge academically.
And good for you. I don't see how that gives you more of a claim to this painting than I do. Hell, I could say, well, I am a much higher ranking member of our clan. As such, I have a stronger claim to art than you do. I do not make that argument because that would be grossly unfair to you. And yet it's one my clan would probably agree with.
Yes, but I do not have any such claims.
Well, you keep bringing it up as if it's some sort of stick you can beat me with.
No, I cannot. I'm
Good.
just trying to reason with you so you can
I
try to
feel
see it from my perspective, perhaps.
I feel like we had a good, and I feel like I have seen it from your perspective, at least personally. Politically, I'm a bit confused because it's a bit contradictory of what we initially agreed to do. Um,
How so the result's going to be the same?
no, it's literally not. That's why it's a contradiction. Remember, I said
How so?
if the boon that I had with you over this painting, if we were to have that, then you would not be seen as the singular individual that as the individual who singularly brought that artwork into the clan. It would be both of us because of that boon. Because that boon would literally require I contribute. That this is a joint venture between us. And even if we don't have each other's assistance, the boon would be a statement that we were working together, because that is what the boon stipulates. So you would not get you would not get singular credit because of
Why
that
wouldn't
boon.
you want me to get that credit, though?
I'm not saying I don't. I'm not saying I don't want you to get that credit. What I'm saying is that if you were to agree to that boon, it would make it impossible.
Can't we do it any other way?
I just feel like you're asking for. You're asking for something that I wouldn't be able to give you unless I just let you have everything. That's the problem right now.
Oh, well, you have everything of mine, don't you?
What does that mean?
You technically possess a part of myself. You could do me great harm if you wanted to. Why would I want to screw you over if that's what you think?
I'm not sure I could.
What?
I don't think I could.
Maybe not personally. But I don't think I'm asking for everything. What I'm asking is that this would benefit me way more than would benefit you, and it will most of all benefit our clan overall. And I know that you want to help me, but the way you want to help me is not necessarily a way that I would really like.
I mean, I don't.
I've I've always been in the shadow of better men, perhaps, or at least more prestigious men. At some point, and I know that it's technically cheating, perhaps. I don't think I could outbid you in it. You have a lot more power than I possess. What I'm saying is that you wouldn't be getting anything from it. And I potentially could.
No,
And
in
I
fact, got a vote
really
of
want that
confidence.
painting.
That's my turn to walk out.
How so?
What do you mean I don't gain anything from it?
What more is there to gain?
You know, for talking about how much you need it, you focused more on the politics and the personal.
There is no personal since we're not keeping the painting for ourselves. There is no personal there.
On the contrary, I'm gifting it to the world because that's personal to me.
So what? You're gifting it so you can feel that you contributed something to society and to the art world? Is that it?
It's not necessarily for the art world, it's for the individual that made the painting.
Well, yes, but this is not something that you do for yourself. So why does it have to be you?
I don't know, why does it have to be you?
I feel like we're going around in circles here
You can't answer me the question.
because I've answered you the question many times already.
I I would allow it to pass into the hands of another, knowing if it would pass into the hands of greater cultural society. And I would trust you to do that if you weren't talking so much about how much it would politically benefit you to have it.
Oh, so you don't trust my intentions in that?
To be fair, you kind of did that to yourself. I'm not really sure what to say.
I'm just being completely honest with you. I do have the same goals that as you do. However, I can also personally benefit from it. I would be a fool to not recognize that, and I wouldn't dare to keep it from you. My cards are open. And in any case, this is just in theory still, because if there are people outbidding us, I wouldn't turn down assistance from you. I'll do what's necessary for us to acquire it. But if I'm able to do it, would you allow it? That's what I'm asking from you.
If you would do as I would, ensure that it is gifted to the world at large, then I would allow you to buy the painting.
Then we agree, because I do want the world to see it as well. And you can choose where it will be donated. It can either be a gallery, if there is a gallery under our clan, or our venue, if we can secure it there. And of course, if there are people trying to get it from us and I don't have the means to outbid them, I will certainly accept your help and the joint ownership or whatever comes with it. It's pretty simple, actually. I would need a few hours with it to just look at it, however. I don't believe the pictures do it justice.
They don't.
Were you able to touch it?
Yes.
And what did you feel?
Sadness, bitterness, rage. Fat man's The end of his life, the death of his soul is wrapped up in that painting.
I definitely want to experience that. I mean, this has been the perhaps the greatest gift that my embrace has brought me.
Careful, you haven't won it yet.
It's not the only painting I'm planning on touching, and I've touched a few more. It's just the line of my work that demands it.
Eavesdropper.
Hmm?
Eavesdropper.
Restoring art means that you're in contact with a lot of old pieces.
Mm.
So, let's recap. What is the agreement that you find acceptable?
I think we just agreed if I allow you to buy the painting, I don't interfere unless you're being outbid, and then I'll back you up. And but you buy the painting, and I'll get
Donating
us
to the organization of your choosing.
basically, yeah. And I'll make sure you get rewarded for that as well.
Then we are in agreement. I wish it would have been simpler.
And this art never is.
Ah, don't you just love all the drama?
Yes.
Anyway, have you had the chance to see the Primogen?
No.
Now that she has domain, I think it's a good way to start on the venue we were talking. And on that, I might be able to help a little bit. I remember when we went to Sam's and he requested a commission from me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I will be starting on that next week. He has 4 pieces. He will be paying 5,000 for each. So I might be able to make at least a small investment in the venue after I buy a piano. I really want a piano in the house. Priorities, man.
You play pretty well.
Hmm?
You play pretty well.
Well, I suppose expected of girls like myself. I had a very particular upbringing, very stereotypical. So that's where it's at. Piano, languages, art school. Couldn't get more stereotypical than this. Speaking of languages, I want your advice on something.
Hmm.
On two things, actually, because I will be having a meeting. Well, I don't know exactly when, but I'm planning on having a meeting with the regent. Because I need some help with a certain something. Um, should I speak to her in her native language or not?
Oh, part. I missed part of that.
Should I speak to her in her native language or not?
Who
The regent.
could be seen as invasive.
Hmm. But we do want to have friendly relationships with them, right?
I mean, yeah, I've got a very good relationship with the Tremere.
Oh, yes, I am aware. Hmm. But I think perhaps I would appear more approachable if I use her own language. Cause if I don't, well, I could know what he's talking about with other Germans, I suppose, but that would be perhaps a breach of trust. And I don't know what kind of relationship I want to establish with her, but I wouldn't want it to be one of mistrust. So I'm conflicted on that. Because I'm sure that at some point she would know I speak German, so maybe just get it out of the way?
Just ask her.
I guess you're right. And the other one is a similar one regarding.
If she starts speaking German around you, feel free to chime in when it's natural to do so.
Alright, I guess that sounds reasonable. And how about the dawn?
Be very respectful.
Yes, but should it be respectful in English or in Italian?
English, particularly of what Vlad's done.
Hmm. Because I will have to meet him eventually and make Vlad apologize. And I will have to be there. I don't expect it to be very soon. In any case, I believe the fledglings will start thinking that some weird shit are happening around here. Perhaps we should check up on them?
I think you're right.
She will kiss him before opening the door, however,
Yeah,
because
he kisses her very passionately. Kind of cups her face into his hands.
mm. And I guess we'll see each other at the auction then.
I guess we shall.
Mm. Let's get ourselves some fun. Then go.
Yes, let's go.
So open the door and walk out.
No,
And I suppose we can end it here.
as they take their kids home.
Hmm?
As they take their kids home. Thank you for playing back. Watching. We'll see you all next time. Goodbye.